Ambassador Vrixthal stood outside the human restaurant and felt his 4 legs tremble. The sign above the door said, Earth's Table, in glowing blue letters. Through the window, he could see humans sitting at tables, laughing and eating. They looked so normal, so harmless. But Vrixthal knew better. He had read the reports about Earth. He had seen the images of human history. These creatures had conquered their entire planet. They had tamed fire, split atoms, and walked on their own moon. And now they wanted him to eat dinner with them. Ambassador, are you coming inside? Vrixthal turned his triangular head toward the voice. Commander Daniel Hayes stood at the door with a friendly smile on his face. The human was tall, with brown skin and kind eyes. He wore the gray uniform of the Earth Diplomatic Corps. Yes, Commander, Vrixthal said. His translator made his clicking sounds into human words. I was simply admiring the establishment. Daniel laughed softly. Sam keeps the place looking nice. Best food on the station, I promise you. Vrixthal followed Daniel inside. The restaurant was warm and filled with pleasant smells. About 20 tables filled the space, and soft music played from somewhere above. Most of the customers were human, but Vrixthal spotted a few aliens as well. A young female from the Villani species approached them. She had soft gray fur and large golden eyes. Her name tag said, Zena. Commander Hayes, welcome back, Zena said. Her voice was gentle and musical. Your usual table? Please, Daniel said. And can you tell Sam that Ambassador Vrixthal is here? She wanted to meet him. Zena's golden eyes moved to Vrixthal. For a moment, something strange crossed her face. Was it concern? Fear? But then she smiled and led them to a corner table dot as they sat down. Vrixthal studied the restaurant more carefully. The walls were covered with images of Earth. He saw blue oceans, green forests, and tall mountains covered in white snow. In one image, a group of humans stood around a fire, cooking something on sticks. Your planet is very beautiful, Vrixthal said. Daniel nodded. It can be. It can also be very dangerous. But that is true for most worlds, I suppose. Before Vrixthal could respond, a human female emerged from the back of the restaurant. She was shorter than Daniel, with pale skin and red hair tied behind her head. She wore a white jacket covered in small stains. Ambassador Vrixthal, she said with a wide smile. I am so happy to meet you. I am Samantha Brooks, but everyone calls me Sam. I own this place. Vrixthal dipped his head in greeting. The honor is mine, Chef Brooks. Commander Hayes speaks highly of your food. Sam pulled up a chair and sat down with them. Danny is my best customer. He has been coming here since the day I opened. She looked at Vrixthal with curious eyes. So, Ambassador, I hear you want to learn about human culture through our food? That is correct, Vrixthal said. My government believes that understanding human eating habits will help us understand humans better. We have had misunderstandings in the past. Sam and Daniel exchanged a quick look. Vrixthal knew they were thinking about the Karathi incident. 6 months ago, a Karathi trade ship had visited Earth. When the Karathi delegation saw what humans kept in their zoos and aquariums, they have fled in terror. They believed humans were collecting dangerous animals to use as weapons. It had taken months of diplomatic work to repair the damage. Wow, Sam said. I think that is a wonderful idea. Food brings people together. It does not matter what species you are. Daniel leaned forward. Sam, I was thinking you could prepare a special menu for the ambassador. Something that really shows what humans eat. Sam's eyes lit up. Oh, I have so many ideas. I could make my Earth Predator platter. It is always popular with new visitors. Vrixthal felt a small chill run through his body. Predator platter? Do not worry, Sam said quickly. Everything I serve is completely safe. I follow all galactic food safety rules. She stood up and patted Rixthal on his hard shoulder. I will make you a dinner you will never forget. How about tomorrow night? That sounds perfect, Daniel said before Rixthal could speak. After Sam returned to her kitchen, Rixthal sat in silence. Xena brought them drinks, and he noticed that she looked at him with that strange expression again. Commander, Rixthal said slowly, what exactly is a predator platter? Daniel took a sip of his drink. Oh, it is just a collection of different meats. Sam likes to use animals that humans have hunted throughout history. She says it connects us to our ancestors. Hunted, Rixthal repeated. You mean prey animals? Daniel laughed. No. The opposite, actually. Predators. Animals that hunt other animals. Sam thinks they taste better because they have to work harder for their food. Rixthal felt his legs go weak. Among his people, the Karathi, eating a predator was unthinkable. Predators were monsters. They were the things that hunted you in the dark. The idea of putting one in your mouth was madness. Is something wrong, Ambassador? Daniel asked. No, Rixthal said quickly. I am simply surprised. I did not know humans ate predators. Daniel shrugged. We eat pretty much everything, honestly. Humans are not picky. That night, Rixthal returned to his quarters and could not sleep. He kept thinking about what Daniel had said. Humans ate predators. They hunted the hunters. What kind of species did such a thing? The next morning, Rixthal received a message from the Vallani ambassador. She had heard about his dinner plans and wanted to observe. Then the Drix ambassador called. Then the Molturi. Then 6 others stopped by afternoon. 12 alien ambassadors had invited themselves to watch Rixthal eat dinner with the humans. Rixthal stared at his communication screen and felt a growing sense of dread. This was supposed to be a simple cultural exchange. Now it was becoming a galactic event. He sent a message to Commander Hayes, explaining the situation. Daniel's response came quickly. The more the merrier. Sam loves a big crowd. See you tonight. Rixthal put down his communicator and wondered what he had gotten himself into. In a few hours, he would sit in a human restaurant and eat whatever strange things they put in front of him. And the entire diplomatic community would be watching. He only hoped he would survive the experience. Xena had worked at Earth's table for 8 months. In that time, she had learned many things about humans. They were loud but kind. They laughed easily and cried easily too. They tipped well and always asked about her family. She had also learned that humans were completely insane. Today, she stood in the kitchen doorway and watched Sam prepare food for tonight's dinner. The chef moved around her workspace with practiced speed, cutting and mixing and tasting. Everything looked normal, but Xena knew what was in those containers. She had seen the labels. Sam, she said carefully, can I ask you something? Sam looked up and smiled. Of course, sweetie. What is on your mind? Xena pointed at a large metal container. What is in that one? Oh, that is the shark. I am making a soup with it. Sam opened the container and showed Xena the pale white meat inside. See? I got it fresh from the Earth supply ship yesterday. Xena felt her fur stand up along her spine. She had looked up sharks on the Galactic database last night. She had not slept well after that. A shark, she said slowly. The animal with hundreds of teeth that lives in your oceans? That is the one, Sam said happily. This is from a great white. They are the big ones. Xena stared at the meat. On her homeworld, her people were herbivores. They ate plants and fruits and sometimes small insects. The idea of eating meat was strange enough. But eating a shark was beyond her understanding. And the other containers? She asked. Sam walked her through the menu. The second container held alligator meat. Xena learned that alligators were giant armored reptiles with jaws strong enough to crush bone. Humans had lived alongside these monsters for thousands of years. The third container held bear sausage. Bears, Sam explained, were massive furry predators that could stand 3 meters tall and run faster than most humans. They had claws like knives and could smell prey from kilometers away. The fourth container held lionfish. Despite its beautiful colors, the lionfish was covered in venomous spines that could cause terrible pain to anything that touched them. "You eat poison?" Xena asked with horror. Sam laughed. "The venom is in the spines, not the meat. Once you remove the spines, the fish is perfectly safe and delicious." Xena backed away from the containers. Her heart was beating too fast. She needed air. "I have to check the dining room," she said quickly and fled the kitchen. In the main room, she found Lieutenant Kevin Park sitting at the bar. Kevin was a regular customer, a security officer with a friendly face and strong arms. He was eating a sandwich and reading something on his tablet. "Hey, Xena," he said when he saw her. "You look pale." "Well, paler than usual. Are you okay?" Xena sat down next to him. "Kevin, can I ask you something about humans?" "Sure. Do all humans eat predators? Or is Sam unusual?" Kevin put down his sandwich and thought for a moment. "I guess most humans eat predators sometimes. Shark is pretty common. Alligator too, especially in certain parts of Earth. Why do you ask?" Xena told him about the menu for tonight's dinner. Kevin listened with growing amusement. "Oh, the ambassadors are going to lose their minds," he said with a grin. "Most galactic species are prey animals, right? They evolved to run away from predators. They are going to watch us eat their worst nightmares. Does that not bother you?" Xena asked. Kevin shrugged. "Why would it? Humans have been eating predators since we lived in caves. It is part of who we are. But how?" Xena asked. "Humans are not that strong. You do not have claws or fangs. How did your ancestors kill such dangerous animals?" Kevin finished his sandwich and wiped his hands. "We work together. Humans are pack hunters. One human alone is not very dangerous. But 10 humans with spears and a plan, that is a different story." He pulled up an image on his tablet and showed it to Xena. It was an old Earth painting of humans hunting a massive woolly mammoth. The humans were tiny compared to the beast, but they surrounded it with weapons raised. "We also do not give up," Kevin continued. "Humans can chase prey for hours, days, sometimes. Most animals are faster than us in short runs. But humans just keep coming. We walk and walk and walk until our prey gets tired. Then we catch it." Xena shivered. The image Kevin was painting was terrifying. Humans were not fast or strong, but they were patient. They were persistent. They never stopped. "I should warn Ambassador Vrixthal," she said. "About what?" "About what he is going to eat tonight. He does not understand." Kevin shook his head. "He will be fine. The food is not dangerous. It is just unusual." But Xena was not so sure. She left Kevin at the bar and went to find her communicator. She needed to contact Ambassador Vrixthal before tonight. She found him in his quarters on the diplomatic level. The Karathi ambassador looked tired and nervous. "Xena," he said when he saw her. "What brings you here?" "Ambassador, I work at the human restaurant. I came to warn you about tonight's dinner." Vrixthal made a clicking sound that his translator turned into a sigh. "I have already received 17 warnings from various species. Everyone tells me that humans are dangerous, and I should not trust them." "No, that is not what I mean," Xena said. "The humans are not dangerous. They have always been kind to me. But their food—" She paused and gathered her courage. "Ambassador, they are going to serve you apex predators. Sharks and alligators and bears. The most dangerous creatures on their planet." Vrixthal was silent for a long moment. Then he made another clicking sound. You must be exaggerating. No species eats apex predators. That would be suicide. I saw them eat myself. I saw the labels. Sam showed me everything. Rick still shook his triangular head. Perhaps these animals are not as dangerous as you think. Humans probably use different words than we do. Xena wanted to argue, but she could see that Rick still had made up his mind. He did not believe her. He thought she was young and foolish and scared of nothing. Please be careful. Ambassador, she said finally. Rick still thanked her for her concern and sent her away as Xena walked back to the restaurant. She received a message on her communicator. It was from the Galactic Food Safety Commission. They had received an anonymous report about dangerous substances being served at a human establishment. Xena deleted the message. She had not sent that report, but she knew who had. One of the ambassadors must have done it. Tonight was going to be interesting. The dining room of Earth's table had never been so full. Sam had pushed tables together to create one long surface that stretched across the entire space. 12 alien ambassadors sat on one side, their various bodies arranged in special chairs that fit their shapes. On the other side sat Commander Daniel Hayes, Lieutenant Kevin Park, and 3 other human officers. Xena moved between them, filling glasses and trying not to look anyone in the eye. Her stomach was tight with worry. Ambassador Vrixthil sat in the center of the alien delegation. His forelegs were tucked beneath his insectoid body, and his large compound eyes reflected the soft lights of the restaurant. Next to him sat the Valani ambassador, a tall female with silver fur. Beyond her were representatives from 10 other species. All of them were herbivores or scavengers. None of them ate meat. Thank you all for coming, Daniel said with a warm smile. Tonight we want to share a piece of human culture with you. Food is very important to humans. We use it to celebrate, to mourn, to show love, and to build friendships. We are honored to be included, Rick still said. His translator made his voice sound calm, but Xena could see his legs twitching with nervousness. Sam emerged from the kitchen carrying a large covered pot. She set it in the center of the table and removed the lid. Steam rose into the air, carrying a rich and savory smell. Our first course, Sam announced, is shark fin soup. This is a traditional dish that humans have enjoyed for centuries. She began ladling the soup into small bowls. The liquid was golden and clear, with thin strands of something floating inside. What is a shark? Asked the Drix ambassador. A small creature covered in blue scales. Daniel picked up his tablet and displayed an image on the wall screen. The aliens went silent. The shark in the image was massive. Its body was gray and torpedo-shaped, built for speed and power. Its mouth hung open, revealing rows upon rows of triangular teeth. Its black eyes seemed to stare into the room with cold hunger. This is a great white shark, Daniel explained. They live in Earth's oceans. They can grow up to 6 meters long and weigh over 2,000 kilograms. The Valani ambassador made a soft whimpering sound. The Drix ambassador fell off his chair. That thing could eat a ship, someone whispered. They have been known to attack boats, Kevin added helpfully. But they usually leave humans alone. We do not taste very good to them. Rick still stared at the image, then at the bowl of soup in front of him. You eat this creature? The fins mostly, Sam said. The meat is good too, but the fins are considered a delicacy. How do you catch them? Rick still asked. Daniel shrugged. Different ways. Some humans use boats and nets. Some use spears. Some dive into the water and catch them by hand. By hand? The Molthari ambassador, a large slug-like being, made a gurgling sound of disbelief. You go into the water with these monsters and grab them with your hands. Not me personally, Daniel admitted. But some humans do, yes? There are people who swim with sharks for fun. The aliens exchanged horrified looks. Zena poured water into glasses and pretended not to notice. Vrixthil looked at his bowl for a long moment. Then, slowly, he lifted his eating appendage and took a small sip of the soup. The room went silent. Everyone watched the Karathi ambassador swallow. "It is." Vrixthil paused, searching for the right word. "It is good. The flavor is delicate, subtle." Sam beamed with pride. "Thank you, Ambassador. The secret is in the broth. I simmer it for 12 hours. One by one, the other ambassadors tried the soup. Most of them seemed surprised by how pleasant it tasted. The Drix ambassador climbed back into his chair and took 3 servings. "Our second course," Sam announced, "is grilled alligator." She brought out a platter of sliced meat, arranged in a fan pattern around a pile of vegetables. The meat was white and looked almost like chicken. "What is an alligator?" The Villani ambassador asked nervously. Kevin changed the image on the wall. The new picture showed a creature that looked like a nightmare given physical form. It had a long body covered in armored scales. Its tail was thick and powerful. Its mouth was filled with teeth, and its eyes gleamed with reptilian intelligence. "Alligators are related to dinosaurs," Daniel explained. "They have existed on Earth for over 30 million years. They are perfect killing machines. Evolution could not improve them, so they stayed the same. Their bite force can crush bone," Kevin added. "And they hide in water, waiting for prey to come close. Then they grab it and drag it under." The Molthari ambassador started crying. Small tears dripped down his slug-like body. "Humans hunt these things?" Vrixthil asked weakly. "Hunt them, farm them, make shoes out of their skin," Sam said cheerfully. "Alligator leather is very popular, and the meat is lean and healthy." She served slices to each ambassador. Vrixthil took a bite and chewed slowly. "It tastes like your chicken," he said with confusion. "This creature looks like a demon, but it tastes like poultry." "Everything tastes like chicken," Kevin laughed. "That is an old human joke." The dinner continued. Sam brought out the bear sausage and explained that bears could run at 50 kilometers per hour and had claws that could tear through metal. She served the lionfish ceviche and described how its venomous spines could cause days of agony. The aliens grew more and more disturbed with each course. But they also grew curious. They asked questions about Earth, about human history, about how such a soft and weak species had learned to hunt the most dangerous creatures on their planet. Daniel was in the middle of explaining how ancient humans used to chase animals until they collapsed from exhaustion when the restaurant door slammed open. A large slug-like creature slithered into the room. It wore official robes and carried a badge of authority. Behind it came 4 security officers. "This establishment is under investigation," the creature announced. "I am High Counselor Morath of the Galactic Food Safety Commission. You will stop serving food immediately." Sam stepped forward, her face red with anger. "Excuse me? I have all the proper licenses. You cannot just walk in here and shut me down." Morath fixed her with a cold stare. "You are serving Category 9 death organisms to sentient beings. That is a violation of 17 different safety codes." He pointed at the table full of alien ambassadors. "These diplomats could have been killed." "Killed by soup?" Kevin asked. "That soup was made from an apex predator," Morath said. "One of the deadliest creatures in the known galaxy. You humans are either ignorant or insane." He turned to the ambassadors. "For your own safety, I must ask you all to leave." Nobody moved. Vrixthil looked at Morath, then at Daniel, then at the half-eaten food in front of him. "High Counselor," he said slowly, "I think there has been a misunderstanding." "There is no misunderstanding," Morath snapped. "Humans are feeding you monsters." Vrixthil clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. "Yes, but the monsters taste quite good." High Counselor Morath stared at Ambassador Rixthal with disbelief. His slug-like body quivered with frustration. "You cannot be serious," Morath said. "Do you understand what these humans have been feeding you? These are apex predators. Category 9 death organisms. Each one of these creatures could kill a dozen sentient beings without effort. And yet," Rixthal said calmly, "I am still alive. In fact, I feel quite satisfied." The bear sausage was particularly good. Sam crossed her arms and looked at Morath with defiance. "High Counselor, everything I serve is perfectly safe. The meat is properly prepared and cooked. There is no danger to anyone." "No danger?" Morath slithered closer to the table and pointed at the remains of the alligator platter. "That creature can bite through steel. Its stomach acid can dissolve bone. How can you say there is no danger?" Daniel stood up and faced Morath directly. "Because the alligator is dead, High Counselor. We killed it, processed it, and cooked it. That is what humans do." "That is precisely the problem," Morath said. "You kill apex predators. You treat the most dangerous creatures in the galaxy like they are nothing. This is not normal behavior. This is madness." Kevin leaned back in his chair. "With respect, High Counselor, what is normal depends on where you come from. On Earth, humans have been hunting predators for hundreds of thousands of years. It is how we survived." Morath made a disgusted sound. "Impossible. Your species is soft and weak. You have no claws, no fangs, no armor. How could you possibly hunt apex predators?" Sam smiled and walked to the wall screen. She pressed a few buttons and an image appeared. It showed a cave painting, ancient and faded. The painting depicted small human figures surrounding a massive animal with long tusks. "This is from 30,000 years ago," Sam said. "Our ancestors painted this on a cave wall. They were hunting mammoths, creatures 10 times their size." She changed the image. Now it showed humans with spears, facing a pack of wolves. "Wolves," she said. "They hunted in packs. They had sharp teeth and incredible senses. Our ancestors did not just kill them. They captured them, bred them, and turned them into dogs. The creatures that once hunted us became our companions." Another image. Humans in small boats throwing spears at a massive whale. "Whales, the largest animals on our planet. Humans hunted them with wooden boats and hand-thrown harpoons." Another image. A human standing over the body of a tiger, holding a rifle. Tigers, lions, leopards, bears, crocodiles, sharks. Sam clicked through image after image. Humans have hunted them all. And we did not just hunt them. We wore their skins. We decorated our homes with their bones. We ate their flesh. Morath watched the images with growing horror. Why? Why would any species do this? "Because we had to," Daniel said simply. "Earth is a dangerous world, High Counselor. The gravity is high. The weather is extreme. And the wildlife is aggressive. If our ancestors had not learned to fight back, we would have gone extinct." The Vellani ambassador raised her hand. "But how did you win? You said yourself that humans are not strong or fast." Kevin smiled. "Two things made the difference. First, we work together. Humans are social creatures. We cooperate, we plan, we share information. One human is not dangerous. But humans are never alone. And the second thing? Rixthal asked, we never give up." Kevin stood and walked to the wall screen. "Let me tell you about persistence hunting. Most animals are faster than humans over short distances. A deer can outrun a human easily, but humans can run for hours, days even. We sweat to cool our bodies, which most animals cannot do." He displayed an image of humans running across a grassy plain, following a tired antelope. Our ancestors would chase an animal until it collapsed from exhaustion. The animal would run, stop to rest, and find the humans still coming. Run again, rest again, and the humans would still be coming. Eventually, the animal's body would overheat and fail, and then we would catch it. The room was silent. Morith's body had gone still. You chased them until they died, the Drix ambassador whispered. Until they were too tired to fight back, Kevin corrected. Then we killed them quickly. It was more merciful than being eaten alive by other predators. Morith turned to look at the alien ambassadors. Most of them were herbivores, species that had evolved to run from danger. The idea of a predator that simply kept following, that never tired, that could not be escaped, was their deepest nightmare, and that predator was sitting across the table, eating soup and making jokes. I need to sit down, Morith said weakly. Zena quickly brought a large cushion for the High Counselor. He slumped onto it, his body sagging. This is why everyone fears humans, Morith said quietly. Not because you are strong, not because you are fast, but because you do not stop. You are the monsters that killed all the other monsters. Sam sat down next to Morith and patted his slimy shoulder. We are not monsters, High Counselor. We are just survivors. Every species does what it must to survive, but to eat them? Morith looked at the food on the table. To consume the very creatures that should have consumed you? There's an old Earth saying, Daniel said. You are what you eat. By eating predators, our ancestors believed they gained their strength, their courage, their power. Morith was quiet for a long moment. Then he looked at Sam. The bear sausage. What does it taste like? Sam blinked in surprise. You want to try it? I want to understand, Morith said. I have spent my entire career protecting the galaxy from dangerous foods, but I have never actually eaten something dangerous. Perhaps that is why I do not understand you humans. Sam brought a small plate of bear sausage and placed it before Morith. The High Counselor stared at it for a long moment. This creature, he said slowly. How dangerous was it? A full-grown bear could kill 20 of you without breaking a sweat, Kevin said cheerfully. Morith closed his eyes. Then he extended a feeding tendril and placed a small piece of sausage in his mouth. The room held its breath. Morith chewed slowly. His body changed color, shifting from pale green to a deeper blue. His eyes opened wide. This is... He paused, searching for words. This is unlike anything I have ever tasted. It is rich, complex. There is strength in this meat. I can taste the power of the creature it came from. Sam smiled. Now you understand. Morith took another bite. Then another. Soon he had finished the entire plate. I must apologize, he said finally. I came here to shut down your restaurant. I thought you were serving poison, but I see now that I was wrong. Does that mean we can continue our dinner? Vrix the last hopefully. Morith nodded slowly. Yes, but I have one question first. He looked at Daniel with a mixture of fear and curiosity. What is the most dangerous thing that humans eat? What is the deadliest creature that has ever ended up on a human plate? Daniel and Kevin exchanged amused looks. That depends on how you define dangerous, Daniel said. In terms of killing power, probably the box jellyfish. Its venom can stop a human heart in minutes. But humans in some regions eat it anyway. Morith shuddered. And you consider this normal? We consider it Tuesday, Kevin said with a grin. The dinner had changed. What started as a tense diplomatic event had become something else entirely. The alien ambassadors leaned forward in their seats, asking questions and listening with fascination. High Counselor Morith had requested a second helping of everything. Daniel stood at the head of the table, explaining human history to a captivated audience. Our ancestors did not start at the top of the food chain, he said. Millions of years ago, humans were prey. We were hunted by big cats, by wolves, by crocodiles. We lived in fear like most species do. What changed? Rixthal asked. We got smart, Daniel said simply. We could not outrun a lion, but we could outsmart one. We made tools. Spears, traps, fire. Fire was the biggest change. Suddenly, predators were afraid of us. Sam brought out cups of a dark liquid and placed them around the table. Coffee, she explained. Another thing humans consume that would be dangerous to most species. It contains a chemical called caffeine. To humans, it provides energy. To smaller animals, it is a deadly poison. The Drix ambassador pushed his cup away nervously. This is what I find most disturbing, Morith said slowly. Humans do not just eat predators. You consume poisons willingly. Caffeine, alcohol, capsaicin from your hot peppers. These substances would kill most species. Kevin nodded. We also eat things that try to kill us during the eating process, like the pufferfish. Its organs contain a toxin that causes paralysis and death. But humans eat it anyway, as long as it is prepared correctly. And if it is prepared incorrectly? The Villani ambassador asked. Then you die. Kevin shrugged. But that is part of the excitement. The aliens exchanged disturbed looks. Zena stood in the corner, listening to everything. She had worked with humans for 8 months, but she was still learning new things about them. I have a question, Rixthal said. You say humans were once prey, that you lived in fear. But now you are at the top of the food chain on your world. How do you feel about that? Do you feel powerful? Superior? Daniel thought about the question for a moment. Not really. Mostly we feel grateful. Our ancestors fought and died so that we could live in safety. We honor them by remembering where we came from. We also feel responsible, Sam added. Humans nearly drove many predators to extinction through hunting. Now we work to protect them. The sharks, the bears, the big cats. We have learned that the world needs them. But you still eat them, Morith pointed out. Yes, Sam admitted. But we do it sustainably now. We farm some predators, like alligators. We raise them specifically for food, so wild populations can recover. She smiled. Humans are complicated. We can be cruel and kind at the same time. We can hunt something to near extinction and then spend billions of credits trying to save it. Rixthal made a clicking sound that his translator turned into a thoughtful hum. I think I am beginning to understand. Humans do not see predators the way we do. To prey species like mine, predators are forces of nature. Uncontrollable, unstoppable. But to humans, they are just animals. Powerful, yes. Dangerous, certainly. But not invincible. Nothing is invincible, Daniel said. That is perhaps the most important lesson human history teaches us. Every threat can be overcome with enough courage, creativity, and cooperation. The Molthari ambassador, who had been quiet for some time, finally spoke. I must ask, has there ever been an Earth predator that humans could not defeat? Kevin laughed. There was a honey badger that gave my grandfather trouble for 3 years. But eventually, he got it. I am being serious, the Molthari said. Daniel considered the question. There have been individual animals that killed many humans. Man-eating tigers, rogue elephants, massive crocodiles with dozens of victims. But in the end, humans always won. We may lose battles, but we never lose wars. Because you do not give up, Morris said. Because we cannot give up, Daniel corrected. Giving up means death. Our ancestors learned that lesson early. It is written into our genes now. When humans face a threat, we do not run. We fight. And if we lose, we come back and fight again. And again. And again. Until we win. The room fell silent. Zena watched the alien ambassadors absorb this information. She could see fear in some of their eyes, But she also saw something else: respect. Rixthil finally broke the silence. When I return to my government, I will have to write a report about humans. About what I learned tonight. He paused. I do not know how to explain any of this. Tell them the truth, Sam suggested. Tell them that humans are strange and dangerous and confusing. Tell them that we eat monsters and drink poison and chase our prey until they collapse. And tell them that despite all of that, we sat down with you tonight and shared a meal like friends. Rixthal looked at Sam for a long moment. Then he made a clicking sound that his translator turned into a warm laugh. I think I will tell them exactly that, he said. The dinner continued for another hour. Sam brought out dessert, a chocolate cake that she explained contained a substance that was toxic to many Earth animals but delicious to humans. The ambassadors tried small pieces and found it overwhelmingly sweet. When the evening finally ended, the alien ambassadors filed out of the restaurant one by one. Each of them stopped to thank Sam for the meal. Several asked if they could make reservations for the future. High Counselor Morath was the last to leave. He stopped at the door and turned back to face the humans. I came here tonight to shut you down, he said. Instead, you have changed my understanding of the galaxy. I thought I knew what danger looked like. I thought I understood predators. He shook his massive head slowly. I was wrong. True danger does not roar or bare its fangs. True danger smiles and invites you to dinner. Is that a compliment? Kevin asked. I honestly do not know, Morath admitted. He slithered out the door. Zena helped Sam clean up while Daniel and Kevin moved tables back to their original positions. The restaurant was quiet now, but it felt different somehow. Warmer. That went well, Sam said happily. I think we made some new friends tonight. And terrified an entire diplomatic delegation, Kevin added. That too. Zena gathered dirty plates and carried them to the kitchen. As she worked, she thought about everything she had learned. Humans ate predators. They consumed poison for fun. They chased their prey until it died of exhaustion. They were, by any reasonable measure, the most dangerous species in the galaxy. And yet they had taken her in when she needed a job. They had treated her with kindness and respect. They had become her friends. Maybe that was the strangest thing of all. Humans could be gentle and terrifying at the same time. They could kill monsters and cry at sad stories. They were walking contradictions, but there was one thing Zena knew for certain. She was glad humans were her friends and not her enemies. The next morning, Ambassador Vrixthal submitted his diplomatic report to his government. The document was short, but it would be discussed in Karathi political circles for years. Humans should not be judged by prey species standards, he wrote. They are not predators in the way we understand the term. They are something else entirely. They are the species that looked at the apex predators of their world and said, "We can do better." And then they did. My recommendation is simple. Do not make enemies of the humans. Make reservations at their restaurants instead. Within a week, Earth's Table was the most famous restaurant on Galactic Station, Nexus 7. Reservations were booked for the next 3 years. Species from across the galaxy came to sit in Sam's dining room and eat creatures that should have eaten them. And every night, Sam stood in her kitchen and smiled. She was just a human, doing what humans had always done, turning monsters into dinner.